Tapping in real quick for this UFC fight night in Abu Dhabi. Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. And in this video right here, we just going to chop it up for a couple minutes about these two individuals, Corey Sandhagen and Umar Nurmagomedov. Umar Nurmagomedov being one of my most confident picks this week. And listen, I get it, man. I completely understand it. There's a lot of respect coming in on Corey Sandhagen's name right now. Mainly due to the fact that the young man's been fighting in the UFC for a lot longer up against a, higher level of opposition. Well, let's talk about this run in the UFC as of yet and this higher level of opposition. Let's talk about this resume and these wins and these losses. In my personal opinion, Mario Bautista, that's a good fucking win. John Lineker, not that guy. Rafael Assunção, past his prime. Aljamain Sterling, you fucking lost. Marlon Moraes, not that guy. Frankie Edgar, past his prime. TJ Dillashaw, you fucking lost. Piotr Yan, you fucking lost. Young Dung Song, that's a decent win. Marlon Vera, that's a good fucking win. Rob Font, that's a decent win. I'll rate the wins over Rob Font and Young Dung Song on the same level of opposition. And, they're decent wins. Now, Marlon Vera and Mario Bautista, I'll rate those as very good fucking wins, as those are high levels of opposition, and I rank Mario Bautista and Marlon Chito Vera as the same level of opposition. So Marlon Chito Vera and Mario Bautista are two very good fucking wins in my personal opinion. Young Dung Sung and Rob Font, same level of opposition. Corey Sandhagen should have been able to get those wins in my personal opinion. Nothing about John Lineker, because he's just not that guy. Marlon Moraes, he's just not that guy. And Rafael Assunção, past his prime. Frankie Edgar, although it's a good name to have on your resume, past his prime when you secured that victory. Now, the Mario Bautista win's a good fucking win. John Lineker, you should have took that dub. Rafael Assunção, past his prime, you should have took that dub. You were working your way up, but then you hit that motherfucking roadblock in Aljamain Sterling, and he took you the fuck out of there inside the distance like I predicted him to do. Then they give you a step down in Marlon Moraes. You get that dub. Then they give you Marlon Moraes' motherfucking training partner, or past his prime, Frankie Edgar, and you get that dub. Working your way up, though, because you getting that big name, so then they toss you TJ Dillashaw. You catch that loss. They give you Piotr Yan. You catch that loss. Then they give you Young Dung Song. Another step back, and you catch that dub. Marlon Chito Vera's a little step up, and you caught that win. That's a good fucking win. And then Rob Font, you kind of took a step back from Marlon, in my personal opinion, but you still caught that win. Now, I get it. I get it, man. But with that being said, in my personal opinion, Rob Font, Young Dung Song, Rafael Assunção, John Lineker, Marlon Moraes, Frankie Edgar, even a Mario Bautista and a Rob Font, they all get beat by Umar Nurmagomedov. Piotr Yan gets beat by Umar Nurmagomedov. TJ Dillashaw gets beat by Umar Nurmagomedov. And unfortunately, for my homie, the motherfucking dog, that's my dog, man. I would be going against the grain on this one. Umar Nurmagomedov fuck around and get the dub over Aljamain Sterling, man. You understand what I'm saying to you? I get it. Umar Nurmagomedov has not faced the names that Corey Sandhagen has faced. But the same was said about Khabib Nurmagomedov when he came into the UFC. The same has been said about Islam Makhachev when he came into the UFC, man. The same can be said for just about every motherfucker who's ever made the entrance and the walk to the UFC octagon. You don't face a higher level of opposition until you do. And then it is up to absolutely nobody but you to prove that you deserve to be on the motherfucking stage that you're on. Putting together the body of work that you're putting together against the motherfuckers you putting it together against. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I, for one, personally believe that Umar Nurmagomedov passes this test and passes it in flying fucking colors, man. I believe he can knock out Corey Sandhagen on the feet in the striking department. I believe he can submit that young man in this, down in the jiu-jitsu department on the ground. I believe he can out-wrestle, out-grapple, and just outclass this young man over the course of 25 minutes if he so chooses to do so. He could take Corey Sandhagen to class, and it'll be up to Corey Sandhagen whether or not he survives that class or not. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Corey Sandhagen, probably the faster out of the two. Definitely the more diverse out of the two in the striking department. That is absolutely it. In my personal opinion, Umar Nurmagomedov possesses the power, the pop in each and every one of those individual shots. He possesses more power than Corey Sandhagen. The wrestling, the grappling, the jiu-jitsu, the pressure, just the all-around body of work, in my personal opinion, it's just better than Corey Sandhagen's, man. And while Corey Sandhagen may be the more diverse of the two in the striking department, I don't believe Umar Nurmagomedov is going to give this young man the opportunities he needs to shine. You understand what I'm saying to you? And while Corey Sandhagen is very solid and very well-rounded and has very much so worked on his wrestling and grappling offensively and defensively, that shit's instilled in Umar. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, you can go ahead and work on that department for the next year or two. You're not going to catch up to these motherfuckers, man. What you're trying to catch up to, man, the levels you're trying to catch up to in the wrestling and grappling department, they've exceeded years ago. You understand what I'm saying to you? While you're working on your wrestling and grappling offensively and defensively to try to keep this one on the feet, that's already in Umar's back pocket. The same way you don't have to work on your striking as much, Corey, because that's already in your back pocket. So you're more so working on keeping this fight on the feet and being able to, implement your game while it's there. Umar Nurmagomedov putting you down on the ground, taking this fight where he wants to take it and where you're uncomfortable is second nature for him. It's in his back pocket. So he's working on, everything he needs to do to sharpen them tools in the striking department, man. I believe Umar Nurmagomedov is just that much better than Corey Sandhagen. Maybe not in the striking department, but absolutely everywhere else. And that's going to be enough to get this one done in any way, shape, form, or fashion he chooses to do.